Let's do this. King Arthur, Legend of the Sword is directed by Guy Ritchie and stars Charlie Dunham, and is of course that classic tale of how King Arthur, a nothing child, well, Arthur, a nothing child, who eventually becomes a sole heir to the throne of Camelot. But of course he doesn't know this until he wields the mighty Excalibur and takes back his throne to the kingdom. Now this is one of those movies that I really thought would only be really good in the trailers sort of thing. You know, like all the main surprises and all of the main action was just sort of in those 2-minute clips. But actually this movie surprised the hell out of me. I mean, it was actually really good, and it was how hard it is to tell a classic tale like this that we all know of. We all know the story of King Arthur. So really there's going to be no surprises. But the way this was done really was fantastic. I mean, as soon as you get into the film, there's elements of CGI in it. There's a huge battle scene with these huge elephants we've seen in the trailer before. It looks incredible. I mean, it's seamless. I mean, you know these things don't exist, but there's this almost this question in your brain of it almost could exist. You know, it's almost like they're almost like Lord of the Rings style-y sort of things, but they honestly, the imagery in this movie, it just blew me away. I mean, even the scenes outside of that, the dark place that they do go on later on in the movie, it's the scenery they use. I don't know where they shot this on location, hopefully a lot of it, but it reminds me almost of like the TV show Vikings and Lord of the Rings as well, with all these amazing, stunning visuals in it. When it comes to when I thought about who was directing this movie, Guy Ritchie is not one I really thought, who could do this. I'm a big fan of rock and roll, and of course the Sherlock Holmes movies. I do love those films, and he brings that sort of twist to this in his directing style. There's a lot of that choppy, quick back and forth between characters, and there's also the expositional scenes in it. So sort of like the people will be talking, and it will go back in time to what they're talking about, and give you these really funny dialogue scenes with really clever, choppy editing and obviously writing of what they're saying. I think it's really cool, and also what he did with Arthur himself. He's a real Jack the Lad in this film. Collars up, sort of really like leader of the pack style guy in it, and I really do like that. I think it's a completely different comparison to what we've seen in sort of bad Arthur movies in the past. Really a different, cool version. And for me, the main and the best part of this movie was the total shock and the total surprise of Charlie Dunham, who plays Arthur in the movie. He's a real unknown to me when I first saw the film was coming out. But if you don't know him, I'll tell you now. He's more famous now for playing Jackson Teller in the TV show Sons of Anarchy. So he's not really huge in movie circles, but for me he was really entertaining and was really the best part of this movie. And that's with Jude Law in it as the main protagonist. He was really cool, had a really dark story, and really was really cool. And he has collaborated in the past in the Sherlock Holmes movies with Guy Ritchie, so he's obviously got that with him. But he overthrew Jude Law, and that's kudos to him. I think he was really cool. Now let's talk about that cameo. Of course, David Beckham is in this film, obviously the world famous football player. Not the best, if I'm honest. Thought he was slightly wooden. It was more a case of he was told where to go and that's where he went, and he sort of didn't move. It was a lot of just sitting there or standing there sternly saying his line. They've given him like some prosthetics and some scarring and things to make him look a bit more dynamic. Maybe that was needed to get the woods to be a bit damper, but it was quite funny, and regardless of him being there, quite a pointless cameo, but a bit of fun here and there maybe. But it was, it is what it is. It's David Beckham, a guy who's never acted before in a film, so you can imagine how that went. Anyway, that being said, there is some bad points in this movie. The main part for me was that last half an hour. The first hour and a half I found really fun, really proper Guy Ritchie style stuff. I really dug it. It was really, really cool. But this lot of the film ending really let me down. It's a little just... I get that the story's been told before, but the ending was just a little bit too predictable for me. You could almost predict the ending at the start of the movie, knowing who was the bad guy and what was... If it was one of those sort of things. But it was a new take on the classic King Arthur style. It's been done well and it is really fun, you know, apart from that last half hour that really killed me. I really am surprised by Charlie Hunnam's performance. I think he was brilliant in this film. Go and check it out for his performance, if anything. I think he was brilliant. That being said, I'm going to give this movie a 3.6 out of 5. I would have given it a 3.8. I really was thinking about doing that when I came out of the movie, but that last half an hour really stung it for me. That really did hurt it a lot. So 3.6, guys. It was brilliant. Just shame about that ending, you know. If you have seen it, please let me know down below. I want to thank my lovely girlfriend for making my brand new logo and intro. She's fantastic, really cool. I'm really glad. It looks brilliant. Thank you very much to her. And yeah, if you like what I'm doing, guys, then please like, subscribe, share. Let me know what you thought down in the comments below, and I'll see you all later.